Cliff Bennett, another edition of Cliff Do My Job. Today we are at the Brandon Wild Mini Garden, and we've got a sweet job lined up. So sweet, it's honey sweet. We've got Alan Johnson here with Johnson's Bees and Supplies. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We're going to be looking at bees here. How did you get started with bees?
I was looking at being a market gardener as my retirement plan, and I noticed needed pollinators for the garden, and so in 2006 I got a hive, and the garden was really good that year. Next year I got 5 or 6 more hives. We really got hooked on it, and now we're so busy in bees we don't do any gardening.
Wow.
But it's a very enjoyable hobby for some folks, a job for some others of us, besides you get the sweet benefit of honey.
Exactly. And speaking of jobs, this will be a job for me. Alan, what is my job today?
Today we're going to go into one of the hives here at Brandon Wild and do what's called a regular inspection. We're going to look for the honey stores, see what they've got as far as food and pollen. We're going to look for the queen, if we can see her, or evidence of the queen, which would be eggs, larvae, and cap worker brood. See how the bees are doing.
All right. Wellness check on the bees. All right, so before you get into a beehive, you need the proper garb. All right, let's go to work. All right, so here we are dressed for the occasion, some more than others. That's the expert there, you can tell. Now we have smokers in our hand right now. Alan, what's the importance of these?
The smoke is something we will put in the front of the hive, and then in each box as we go through it. It helps mask the alarm pheromone that the bees will put out because we're invading their home.
Yes, we're stepping into the bee's house and we do not want to alarm.
And so to smoke the hive, you just puff a few smokes right there in the entrance. Go ahead and go all the way across the front of the entrance. There's guard bees, and that causes them to...
you can hear them too.
Yeah. Now, we take the lid off, and I just set it here to the side.
Okay. Down
Flat. This is a feeder where we'll feed sugar syrup when their stores get too low and they need some help. Sometimes that happens. Now, as you take your hive tool, you want to stick it between and pry up. And as you're prying up a little bit, put some smoke under there.
Yes.
Now we can just take and set that off to the side.
Oh, there are bees. Ladies and gentlemen, we have bees.
There are bees. So what we want to do in this first box is we always start by moving as much as we can to the opposite side.
Okay.
So grab it right here at the...
Right there?
Right here where the frame is. And just push it all the way over.
There we go.
And now you can pull this frame back and grab it, pull it out without smashing bees. So doing an inspection, the first thing you want to notice when you're doing is what's on your frame. And this is a frame of honey that we have left for the bees to eat over the winter as they need to. But here, you'll notice there's some pollen in these cells. Now this is a dark pollen.
Right.
I'm not sure what provided that, plant provided that, but it's a dark pollen. Pollen is their protein, vitamins, and mineral source.
And it's really good. Very tasty.
Okay.
All right, what next?
We're gonna set that one back in there and check out the next frame.
And it seems like the farther we get, the more bees they're working.
The more bees. Now,
what do you call those?
This is brood. It's cap brood, but this is drone brood. These are the males. When they emerge from these cells, they'll be the male bee. Their primary job is to fly to a drone congregation area for a virgin queen to fly through and mate with that virgin queen. That's about the only thing that drones are good for.
Okay.
They also let us know when they're producing drones that the food source, the food resources are good.
And brother, that's a lot of drones.
Yeah.
On average, how much honey will a beehive produce?
So,
or can?
That's very area specific. This hive this year produced about 50 pounds of honey all by itself.
Wow.
And plus you see it has pretty much this whole super that's full. Now what we're looking for is we want to find evidence of our queen. We may not see that in this top box.
She's elusive. All right. Alan, how does one get into beekeeping?
So it's really good to get some education. And there's a lot of ways to get education on beekeeping. There are some local organizations that do beekeeping classes. I'm a member of the Aiken Association, and we have a class each spring from, well, I say spring, but it's to beekeepers. January is spring.
Okay.
And it goes for about 7 weeks on Tuesday evenings till about the 1st of March. Now here's something I'm looking for, Cliff, and I don't know if I can hold this where you can see it, but you want to have the sun at your back.
Okay.
And in there you'll see some white, you'll see eggs. Really, the small white pool is royal jelly that these bees on the frame are producing to feed those baby bees. The little tiny white specks, again, if you can see that, is the eggs. And so for honeybees, an egg is an egg for 3 days, and then it turns into a larva, and it stays a larva for about 5 to 6 days, depending on whether it's a drone or female. And then it gets capped over like these are, and it's a pupa until it emerges.
What's the average lifespan for a bee?
This time of the year, the worker bees have a lifespan of about 40 days. And that's from emergence to death.
Gotcha.
So the first half of her life, these worker bees, like you see across the top, they spend it here in the hive, doing hive chores. And the last part of their life, they're out flying, like this bee that flies out. They look for resources like nectar, pollen, and water. They use water to keep the hive cool when it gets hot. And then that bee just literally flies herself to death. She flies until she can't fly anymore.
What's the final thing to do?
Close up the hive.
Right. Put this bad boy back on.
Very good. I don't believe you mashed a bee. That's much better than I do. And then we place the lid. And that's a quick inspection of the hives here at Brandywine. So imagine doing that for 50 hives in another yard.
Good Lord.
So when you're ready to come out and do that job with me.
It's time intensive, definitely. Alan Johnson from Johnson's Bees and Supplies. Thanks so much, man.
My pleasure.
And if you would like to become a beekeeper,